Welcome into Seahawks Today. I am your host, Will Ortner, and we need to start a streak. What do I mean by that? Not Will Ferrell and old school. I mean your Seattle Seahawks getting on a winning streak again. You beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's one. You need to beat the Houston Texans to win 2 in a row. And the best way for us to help them do that is by going in and smashing that like button on this video. All right, we got to get into our first. And, something tells me this is a jokester. On your knees, what's up? Good to see you. Excited for you to be here. Thank you for hanging out with us on this mailbag episode of Seahawks Today. What are the odds of a Trey Hendrickson trade? Well, on your knees, I think it's important for you and everybody else who is a Seattle Seahawks fan, myself included, to understand that I don't think a Trey Hendrickson trade is going to be in the works. Now, I know a lot of people on your knees would really like it if the Seahawks got a defensive end upgrade in the form of an elite pass rusher. It's not that DeMarcus Lawrence isn't doing a good job. It isn't that Uchenna Nwosu isn't doing a good job. It's not that, go down the list of players, Derek Hall, Boye Mafe, it's not that they're not doing a good job. It's just, what is Seattle clearly missing? Seattle is missing that 15 sack a year guy. That guy who can be the top NFL sack getter. Unfortunately, at this time in his career, DeMarcus Lawrence isn't that guy. Uchenna Nwosu is a great addition. He's having a great year. He's top 5 in sacks since week 4, but he's probably not that guy. I still like what you have in your edges right now. I think unless you can get a sweetheart of a deal on your knees, I don't think that it is going to be worth it to trade for Trey Hendrickson. I think that there are positions that are more valuable that you don't have a clear strength in that you can go and make a trade for that would help you there. I'm thinking about cornerback. I'm thinking about offensive line when I say those things. Seattle fan number 12, what's up? Appreciate you sending in the super. Good to see you. Trading for Brooks would solidify our defense as one. Yes. So what you're talking about here is Jordyn Brooks. He's been actually linked to the Seahawks. Ironically enough, we would not have to use any graphic design nerds to come in and get a jersey swap. Well, because Jordyn Brooks originally played for your Seattle Seahawks. Would he make a great addition as that will linebacker? I cannot imagine Jordyn Brooks, who's top 3, I believe, right now in the NFL when it comes to tackles, matched up next to Ernest Jones. Here is my fear. You have seen Drake Thomas play fairly well this year. Tyrese Knight has clearly taken a step back, but he's played well in the past. What are you giving up to get Jordyn Brooks? Jordyn Brooks is playing in Miami right now, an organization that is not very good, and they are going to fire sale. Jordyn Brooks is probably someone who doesn't fit into their long-term plans in Miami to go through a rebuild. He's going to be on the market. What does he cost? Because if he costs more than a day 3 pick, I don't know if that's the position that I want to spend that day 3 pick. Now, would you immediately have a linebacking unit that would rival, Bobby Wagner and Jordyn Brooks, or Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright? Yeah, you would. You'd have a really good linebacking unit. But, and this would be my fear, is that you would not have the positions that you need elsewhere. Because if you're trading to get Jordyn Brooks, probably moving on from Riq Woolen. If you're moving on from Riq Woolen, that cornerback room gets real light. It's real sketchy. So that would be my one fear there with Jordyn Brooks. If the price is right, though, of course, man, go do it. Max, how's it going, man? Appreciate you. Been trying to get you on, man. That's awesome. Good to see you. Hashtag Seahawks. Should we bring Olu into center and push Sundell out to right guard? I'm sick of Bradford. I think if you don't see the Seahawks make a move at the trade deadline, this is exactly what they're going to do. When you look at this offensive line position room right now, there is a clear issue on the right side, and it's not Abraham Lucas. Abraham Lucas is playing, I'd say, pretty well. He's one of the better tackles in the league, at least above average. But right now, you can't run to the right side. When it comes to PFF grades, Anthony Bradford is in the bottom third of the NFL. But I would also make this clear. Jalen Sundell is as well. Jalen Sundell right now is struggling when it comes to blocking one-on-one. What makes him a good player is his size. And by his size, I mean his ability to contort himself and get himself into positions that most centers can't, because he is smaller than most centers. When you run those long outside zone schemes that Seattle wants to run, you need a center that can move and can run and can get out to the edge and can reach a 1 and can reach a 2 and can reach a 3. Someone that can reach someone that's on the outside of the guard next to them. The problem is when Jalen Sundell has to go forward and through someone, he's not able to do it. There's a reason why so few centers can play that position at the weight of 280 or less, like Jason Kelce did it in Philadelphia. Jason Kelce was able to do it because he's a freak when it comes to strength and athleticism. Jalen Sundell is freaky when it comes to athleticism. His strength isn't quite there, at least not yet. I'm not ready to move off of him completely, but there needs to be some switching around in that offensive line unit, because I don't necessarily think that the running or lack of ability right now from that running game is because of the running backs. They have their own issues from time to time too, but I wouldn't be shocked, Max, if you're on the right track and it comes to Seattle making some in-house moves if they don't make a trade for an offensive lineman. Noah, what's going on, dude? Good to see you. Appreciate you. Thank you for sending that in. Do you think we can make it all the way to the bowl game? Yeah. Yeah, I do, man. I don't know if you listened to Daniel Jeremiah, or if you haven't, go check out my video breaking down Daniel Jeremiah's comments. Right now, Seattle is a top 2 team in the NFC. I think if the playoffs started today, you're having the Seahawks in a rematch against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Your defense is playing lights out, especially at that defensive line. You're only going to get better. Why? Because your secondary is going to get healthier. And that offensive side of the football, Sam Darnold's the top 8 QB in the NFL right now. Jackson Smith-Njigba is a top 3 wide receiver, and he ain't 2, and he ain't 3. Cooper Kupp has been fantastic on third downs, getting you catches that you absolutely had to have. You have a very good crew in Seattle. And honestly, at this point, I don't see why you couldn't. Could injuries derail? Could weird bounces of the ball? Yeah, 100%. But do you have the ability to get there? Yeah. Yeah, you got the ability to get there. Seahawks, Jerry Rice. Good to have a Hall of Famer in the building. Good to have a Hall of Famer in the chat. That's what we do here at Seahawks Today. Will we see Witherspoon or Love on Monday Night Football? Hashtag Seahawks. We had breaking news at the time of the filming of this video, Jerry Rice, and I'm happy that you came in and asked that question, because Devon Witherspoon, Riq Woolen, and Julian Love were out at practice this week. Huge, huge news for the boys. Does that mean that they play on Monday Night Football? I'm still not to the point where I'm going to come out and say, yeah, they're playing. No, they're not playing. But I would say this. I would say that they seem to be on track. They seem to be ready to go, to be out there, running around with the boys playing a little bit. You might finally see this secondary as close to 100% as they've been since the freaking preseason. That's huge. That's huge for a team that already has a great defensive line that's getting in the backfield, making big-time plays. I cannot wait. Cannot wait to see what this defense has cooked up if those guys are able to go. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. This is why you do, because as soon as that news broke, we got out a video ASAP. You do not want to miss any of those breaking news stories. I want to talk to you today about our good friends over at Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Prize Picks is simple to play. Just pick more or less on any 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you can cash in. Prize Picks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. Prize Picks is the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are overhyped? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. Got a 2-pick power play here for you this weekend. Travis Kelce more than his listed rush plus receiving TDs. Jackson Smith-Njigba more than his listed rush plus receiving TDs. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. JZ Vids, what up, man? How you doing? The offense is explosive, but it has had some inconsistencies, especially in the 49ers game, and not being able to close the Jags game out for good. What are we missing? Right now, you're missing a rushing attack. Fair and simple. You've had games where it's shown up, and you've been clicking on all cylinders. I'm looking right at the Pittsburgh Steelers game. No offense to the New Orleans Saints. You were going to look awesome against them no matter what. And you saw a lot of that rushing attack pop up a little bit in some other instances. But you haven't had that rushing attack really stay there. You haven't had multiple big Kenneth Walker games. You haven't had multiple big Zach Charbonnet games. Frankly, you haven't had any big Zach Charbonnet games. But if this rushing attack can get going, that is going to open up everything for this offense as a whole. What's most important, I might mention as well, you haven't had your starting fullback the entire time. Remember how big of a deal in the preseason Robbie Oots was. Remember how big of a deal he was to this offense. He's been out. He's been on IR for the last couple of weeks. You're going to get him back here very soon. I would be interested to see how much he helps turn up this offense, gets this offense back rocking and rolling in that running game in the right way, in the way they need to be moving. Because remember, this is a mirrored offense. All the run plays are going to look like you should be able to pass out of them. And all the pass plays are going to look like you should be able to run out of them. Play action pass is going to be massive for the Seahawks. You need this rushing attack to get figured out. I think Robbie Oots can help with that. Tyler, what up, man? Good to see ya. Do you think everyone will be healthy after the bye? That latest tweet makes me feel pretty darn good, Tyler. Makes me feel pretty darn good. Look, there's some guys, Christian Haynes, I got no idea what's going on with him. Jonathan Hankins, you're not going to see him out here anytime soon. I feel like at this point it's just kind of wasted. Riley Mills is a weird case because he has the torn ACL. So it's really just about when is he able to ramp up and be able to go. Mike McDonald clearly thinks he'll be good to play with you guys. He'll be able to help you out. The question is, when does he come in and play? Yes, I think we'll be mostly healthy by the bye. But the guys that I just mentioned on there, they're probably not back yet. I can't remember if Robbie Oots is back after the bye or if it's going to take an extra week. But he should be back pretty quickly to that. I feel good with where Love, Witherspoon, and where Riq Woolen are at right now. I think you're going to get them back here pretty soon. Q, you finally figured it out. I love that, man. That's awesome. I appreciate you. It took you a little bit, but you're a genius. You figured it out. Appreciate you. Get your question on because we wanted to hear it on the show today. Riq needs to stay, but we need to put Spoon on the outside. So is your response here that you want Riq as a backup? Because I can get behind that. Darian Kendrick has been playing well when he's come in that smaller nickel role. But more importantly, holy cow, how well has Nick Eamon-Warry played. That kid is special. Darian Kendrick, we have here the cornerback lineup, has been awesome. When he's been in, he made some big plays for you. He's got some big turnovers for you. I like the addition of Darian Kendrick, especially since he was basically picked up off the scrap heap. But the guy that I like even more, because this is just the beginning, is the rookie sensation, Nick Eamon-Warry. He went out and he was tied for first on your team in tackles, had 9. He was making plays downhill. What impressed me the most, he had a tackle where he is lined up at a deep safety for you. He runs downhill so freaking fast that he meets Travis Etienne at the line of scrimmage. He's 12 yards deep. Reed's run says, yep, I got to go. He goes, makes a big-time hit on Etienne. He was all over him. This is a different play, but another good picture of what Eamon-Warry is able to do in space. Etienne doesn't get away from him here. You have a special, special player in Nick Eamon-Warry. And I think the most impressive thing with him is not only does he use that athleticism to get himself into places, but as he's getting older and seeing more and more reps, he is getting into the positions that he needs to be without relying on the athleticism because his brain is there. His football IQ is allowing him to be in the correct spot that he needs to be. He's moving downhill, but he's doing it ahead of time. I'm very impressed with Nick Eamon-Wari, and the more we can use him in that big nickel role, I just think the better it is for this defense. I'd be very impressed and very excited to see what he's able to do. I don't disagree with you, though. I would like to see Riq Woolen stay in Seattle, at least until the end of this season. Colin, who knew? The producer Colin, find a way onto the show. He's a big fan. He tunes in every single week. Did you like the Bill Barnwell Seahawks Eagles trade? For those of you who do not know, that was Riq Woolen and a 2026 fifth-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Kelee Ringo, he's a cornerback over there, and a fourth-round pick. That is a trade that I just do not see happening. The reasoning behind that trade is, well, the Eagles don't like Kelee Ringo, and the Seahawks don't like Riq Woolen, and they both need cornerback help. So if they trade away their bad corner, maybe the bad corner to change the scenery will be okay. I'm good. I'm good off that. If I'm going to make a trade for a corner with Riq Woolen, I'd rather have one of the guys like Rasul Douglas, or if we could get Roger McCreary, that'd be great. The Jerry Sneed. A guy that I have an understanding of, hey, they were good at one point. They were really good at one point. And with Roger McCreary, he's a younger guy, so he can continue to improve. This is just the beginning of what he is. I don't know that I want Kelee Ringo. I think I'm good. Raul Bryan, thank you. Glad I found this channel lately. Keep up the good work. Dude, I appreciate you. I love you. This is why we do it here at Seahawks Today. We're just trying to put out good content. And I'm glad you found the channel too, man. I'm glad you found the channel too. We're always going to be getting out the latest breaking news whenever we can for your Seattle Seahawks. Your Seahawks are taking on the Texans Monday Night Football. That's going to be tomorrow. We have a watch party, and we will be live here on Seahawks Today an hour before the game kicks off. So wherever you're at, figure out when the game is going to kick off. If you're not going to be at Lumen Field, you need to be here hanging out with us, watching the game, talking ball, and just having a good time rooting on our favorite Seattle Seahawks. Who you got in this matchup? You think the Seahawks are going to pull it out? I do. You're going to type C down below in the comments. You think the Texans are going to pull it out? You're going to text Hugh in the comments. If you do, gross. Don't do that. Type C in the comments. And of course, if you liked the channel, you liked the video, give us that thumbs up, smash the button, help us out. We really appreciate it here. And until next time, I'll see you later.